Okay, right there's the house. This is part 2 of the video that we shot earlier from the A87 to our house. Now we're going to continue from our house all the way out to Loch Hourn.
The end of the road.
Where the road ends in a sea loch. This is our deerstalker neighbor's larder over here on the left, and on the right, that little shed over there is where the other deerstalker lives from time to time when he's not at his house in Sky. And that is where the deerstalker who has the larder there lives. And there's a third deerstalker, the guy who played the bagpipes for us every Thursday night. Is right there.
And that's his larder.
And that's his larder.
The door to his larder is open.
And that's Garrick off in the distance. There's the Kingy pool.
We're coming up to the dam, and there's a lot of construction work being done up here. There's been work crews up here just the last week or so. I think they're working on the power lines, new power lines in. Usually there's not another soul past this point to the end of the road.
Now that's speaking Malik and Gloric. The tall Monroe is speaking Malik, and the little bump on his shoulder there is the other one, Gloric. It's a double Monroe that you can bag them both in one day. And you can see, I hope you can see where the rock slide is. The big brown gash on the hillside, yeah.
Last spring, there was a landslide, an avalanche, and it blocked the road for several months. The people who lived past it had to go to the other end and go to the city by boat.
Yeah, take the sea.
Or some of them had four-wheelers.
I'm going to sit forward like this. This will get as much picture with as little car as possible for as long as possible, but it's probably going to get uncomfortable after a while. And there's the dam. And there is Garrick. I could do a lot of things, Mary Jane. Zoom in a little bit of him. There's another one of those bridges that Thomas Telford built. Right. That's the zoom button, honey. Is it bothering you?
No, I just wondered what it was.
There's Garrick hoving into view again. If I put a little zoom on it, I can lean back and it zooms the dashboard out of the way. See the landslide there. Huh, the work trucks aren't up here anymore.
They're probably past. They were up on that hillside there.
Well, yeah, but remember they had all those storage containers fenced off over here? That should still be out here. They must have got done whatever they came to do. It's all gone. Nope. I said corrected. They're still up there, but I don't see the storage containers. shovel sign's kind of an understatement. Heavy lorries turning. You could say that. They call these kinds of machines plant hire. Oh, there's the little one storage thing over there. Yeah. There's the dam in Garrick. That magnificent bastard. Ugh. Yeah, they do. I don't remember them being there before. Oh, look at that. Oh, Eric. How could you see him and not want to try to climb him? This is all one-lane road, too. I'm going to crack my window a little bit.
You got the heat on, but just
Oh, that'll make it nice, yeah. Yeah, we don't need the heat today. Was that here working? Somebody down there camping. New tent. Well, they've eased restrictions a little bit so folks can get out, enjoy the outdoors. In the Highlands, the little 5-mile rule thing doesn't make much sense. It's further than 5 miles to anywhere from where we live, so you kind of have to use your better judgment. It's 10 miles from our house to the freaking road. You know, oh, you magnificent, bro. Garrick. I've been crushing on that Monroe since the first time I saw it. Yep, they're getting a pretty good sized tent set up down there.
okay, this loch that we're going to drive alongside is Loch.
Loch. It's spelled Quoich, but don't ever say it like that. O-I-C-H. It's pronounced Quick. Because I pronounced it like that in front of one of the locals. And she, oh God, look at that. Really. Harps and angels. Oh, there's Frank's Island. It turns out that's not the island that Chris and I were camping on. This is the next island. That's Frank's Island right there. We'll still get you on it, Frank. Fret not. Oh, yeah. There's not much to be straight ahead. Get past those mountains, you're looking into the Noiter district, and you can see it from Garrick's shoulders. I posted some pictures on Facebook. It's just a really rugged area with hardly any humans in it whatsoever. I was watching Braveheart last night, and there's a scene where Mel Gibson and rides his horse out a door from a castle and into a freaking loch in the middle of the night. And I just remember sitting there thinking, foul. No way you survived that. This water's too bloody cold. You'd never made it to the banks or shores of the loch. It's just too flipping cold. Forget the horse. And we haven't got to the real uppy downy part yet. Frank was drooling. No, couldn't wait to get his bicycle on this stretch of road. And then we hit the uppy downy part. What was it he said, Mary?
It would make it more difficult.
This increases the level of difficulty. Yes, it would. Now, the guy who lives in the shed has a fishing boat, usually tethered up where those guys, not where those guys were pitching that tent. But he's obviously got his boat out of the water. He
said he caught a 15-pound salmon last weekend on Loch Ness.
Jeepers.
He was keeping it up there.
That's a
Hiked
little,
over there one
that
day
little
with the
knob
dogs.
over there that you're looking at right now. We just kind of hiked over there and
Look around.
ran the dogs around on it for a bit. There's my buddy Garrick. Over 3,000 feet high. Put it in perspective, the pinnacles in Berea are like 470 feet.
Nice view.
Oh, yes. Oh, gorgeosity. And of course the roadie's up ahead along with the gorse, of course.
I call this piece Rhododendron Alley because they just grow. It's like a big thicket. That's one reason we wanted to record this today, because they're all blooming.
Yeah, and it's like almost like a tunnel of rhododendrons when you get into the thick of it. You had to come through here. One of the deer stalkers, and a deer stalker from Loch Hourn, came through here with chainsaws, just beating them back out of the road. They just really are invasive.
And of course, there's deer everywhere.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
Probably won't see too many today because they've gone up to the higher elevations.
All those fresh grass shoots up there that they're just gonna
cattle guard.
That island right over there, I don't know if you can see it really good. That's where Chris and I camped when we decided that we were going to try to climb Garrick. There.
We'll be able to, honey, until we get way past here.
Yeah, I saw it. Ever so briefly. There we go. That's a good shot of it. That's the little island that we camped on. All kinds of seagulls on it, and just surrounded by Monroes too. And we're back into the rhododendron forest here. Yellow and purple as far as the eye can see. Well, there's a big riotous bunch. The gorse is pretty and it smells good. I want to get into it. Leech up.
It's covered in thorns.
Covered in thorns. Even thorn bushes. You're saying, that's a lot of thorns. It's weird because the Scotch broom, when it blooms, looks, from all I can tell, it looks just like gorse. The flowers do. Big old bird right there. Back up. Back up. That is some kind of eagle. Let me zoom. Oh, shit. Zoom in on him. Oh, he ain't having it. He ain't having it. I hope that shows up.
I got a nest around here.
Gosh, I hope that shows up.
Are you still filming?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw a little bird shoot out of some bracken when I was walking the dogs, and it was a tiny little bird, and I just lifted up some dead leaves to see if I could find the nest. It was right in the side of the hill, and I swear the egg was about half the size of a pea. And then there was 2 brand new hatchlings in there with no feathers, just bald. But the eggs were tiny. The whole nest was like the size of my phone.
Little bitty bird. That's the view over Loch. And here we go back on the flowers again. Oh my goodness, rocky tour out there.
Well, it's close enough to the road where you don't have to haul your shit forever, but it's far enough from the road that nobody knows you're there and you don't hear the road. Nice to wake up to the water.
Yeah, once you get past our house, heading out this way, very rarely do you bump into anybody. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we
Without
drove.
antlers.
Right. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we drove all the way to Loch Hourn without passing anyone. It's just really, really desolate. And then nobody lives this entire stretch. Nobody lives on it.
Well, Andrew's.
Andrew has a cottage that he's one of the landowners out here. And he has a cottage he stays in sometimes, but very rarely. And one of the deer stalkers works for him. I'm not sure who John works for.
Kingy.
Just the Kingy estate.
Which is on the other side.
Yeah, but I mean, it's owned by a person, right?
Yeah. He doesn't come out here. He told us the other day, remember, he owns a civil engineering company.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's a real quiet fella. So it was really nice when he pulled over and talked to us for a little bit at a nice social distance the other day.
Pretty day.
Not getting the mirror lock effect. It's a little too windy.
Granted.
Yeah. When Chris and I were out canoeing around that little island going to climb Garrick, and when we got back from Garrick and we went to canoe back to the island, the wind was so fierce that we almost got swamped a couple of times. There was actually waves out there on the loch.
On this side of the bridge are owned by a different
Andrews. Andrew's in charge of the deer on this side of the bridge. That's why Lee is the one who is the deer stalker over here. And they've just put a bunch of Highland coo up in the hills up here too. Andrew stopped and chatted me up and was telling me that the fence out here was knackered, and that's why he was heading out with a bunch of fencing equipment. There's the island we're on, and there you can see kind of the route we took. You see that big shoulder in front of Garrick there. We went to the left a bit and then around and up on that long, slow ascent to the peak up there. And it's just absolutely breathtaking. You can see 50 miles in every direction. Chris was pointing out the Queelan on Sky. You could see from up there.
Those are mountains.
Right. They're really dangerous mountains. In fact, they have the one Monroe that's called the Inaccessible Peak. It's the only Monroe that you can't just walk up it. You have to have rock climbing, mountain climbing skills to get up it, because it's just like a finger. There's certain kinds of rocks up there in the Queelans that'll mess with a compass. And so it's like the landscape's just actively trying to kill you.
There's usually deer all over right here.
Yeah,
but like we
all
said,
up in these hills.
They've moved up higher elevations for the most part. That's where we found a bunch of antlers.
Mm-hmm. And what is today? June the 12th, and the high temperature is what? 64, which is absolutely balmy.
Yeah, and there's snow up top.
Yeah, still snow on. We were looking down at snow on Garrick. You still see little patches of snow on these Monroes. hole on the side of Garrick there. I was so terrified I couldn't bring myself to go to the edge and look down into it. It was just nope, 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 nope.
You can kind of see how the closer we get to the sea, the more look at that cloud.
Yeah, that is a weird cloud. I was looking at one like that this morning, and I thought, shit, looks like a UFO.
Just the rockier.
Yeah, it gets more rugged the further.
Rugged, yeah.
It gets more rugged and jagged and dramatic as you go. Well, and the whole Nordic district looks like that. I mean, it's all just really jagged and rugged. That's not a house, by the way. Those little buildings that we're driving by are not houses. They're little buildings that the hydro plant uses for God only knows what.
They probably store tools in there.
Yeah, well, look how low the water is.
That is too freaky. There's some rocks.
Yep, every time you round a corner, it's something new, it's something wonderful, something beautiful. And that's one of the reasons I fell in love with the place. I mean, that and the people. James Anderson was asking me, Jeff, don't you ever miss Kentucky? No, not really. Sorry. I miss a few of the people. Obviously not a road you want to have a breakdown on. If your car broke down or if you had a wreck, they might not get to you for a few days. The nearest place that would have a wreck would be that garage up in Fort Augustus. And you don't have phone signal out here, so you ain't calling for a record until you get back to some semblance of civilization.
Evidence of glacial movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris was really very informative about that. Chris is our buddy from the next glen over.
Kayak freak.
He is a maniac.
I see some deer over there.
Yeah, they just look like specks on this thing. So weird. They were at one point. They were just right next to the road. I would just pull up. Mary would just pull up next to them. They wouldn't even be bothered to get up. I'd roll down the window and take their picture from the car. It's a little bit lumpty bump. We still haven't got into the real uppy downy twisty turny part
The
yet.
wind looks pretty on the grass. There's enough grass getting high enough.
When the lockdown was in full effect, I mean, this was all, we had it to ourselves. What? Loch Hourn, where we're going, that's the place where we foraged all those mussels and cockles and winkles. Oh my. A little weather station up yonder. Kinds of trailheads on our road too. There's a trailhead by our post office that goes all the way into Tom Down. 12 miles.